What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another weekly project update. Now granted, we're not actually working on any projects, but look, we have Challenger on a trailer, which can only mean one thing. Not only did we make it to the beautiful state of North Carolina, but that means our Duramax made it too. And I am happy to report that at no point during the trip did we leak any fluids on the ground. No water, no coolant, nothing of any flavor, nothing of any taste or color. So I'm pretty happy about that. And the Challenger being on the trailer is also a clear indicator that we are this is Friday. Eric and I got in here yesterday at about 5:30 East Coast time, so about 4:30 Texas time, which means it took us right at 21 hours to get here. Would have been here sooner, but as usual, anybody who lives in Texas knows you are not going to get through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in a timely fashion, especially around quitting time on a Thursday. It's just not going to happen. But our trusty Duramax that we had to tear apart twice did make the journey, absolutely no problems. And while Eric and I were slip seating, we did have some sort of accommodation. I mean, it's not the Hilton, but we did have a mattress. We had, some blackout treatment. Of course, I had a curtain that I had hung up here, and it wasn't perfect, but we were able to catch a couple hours of sleep here and there. And I'm currently in a holding pattern waiting on Cassandra to return with the dually so that I can go ahead and air the tires up on the dually, because the tires on the trailer are already done. And then I can load it in the back here with our giant propane tank and some other odds and ends and strap all that down and be one step closer to being ready to leave. Otherwise, man, I'm just glad we're here. It was a long ride, and it was it was boring. I mean, I would have filmed for you guys, but there really wasn't nothing exciting happening. Atlanta was Atlanta, according to Eric. He was the one driving through that section. And Alabama and Mississippi were nothing to really brag about either. It was dark, it was quiet, it was cold, and that's about it. But we are going to film some stuff on the way back. I'm sure we'll have more shenanigans that go on because of this monstrosity. We're going to stop a few times along the way. We're going to run from here to, I believe, Talladega for the first leg of the trip. And then for the second leg, we're actually going to sneak up into Arkansas and go see our buddy Paul. You might remember him from a while back. He was one that sent us a little gift package in one of our updates, which was super cool of him. So I'm going to go up there and give that man a big bear hug just because I can, and because it was a pretty cool thing for him. Not to mention he's just a good friend, good guy, and it'd be good to see him again. So we're going to hang out with him for a night or two, go stay at the famous Little Rock family campground that is on Little Rock Air Force Base, which will actually mark the third time I stayed there, and we'll mention more about that in the full length. But for the meantime, I'm going to finish a few more odds and ends. Hopefully Cassandra will show up soon with the dually, and I can get that thing checked out tire wise, and I think we got to do an oil change on it, and then it's ready to ride. So tomorrow is her retirement ceremony, which should be kind of fun. Her family's all filtering in today. I think her mom and dad just got here a little bit ago, and then her sister, who lives in Florida, and her husband should be up sometime later this evening. And a good friend of hers that she went through tech school with will be here. So she's having a lot of good people show up for this event, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, they're all pouring in tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have a retirement ceremony. I think they're combining it with her Christmas party, so that'll be kind of a cool deal. And then of course Sunday, everybody starts making their way back home. That's what we'll start doing Tuesday morning. She's got to do some final stuff out processing Monday morning, and then we'll pack up the rest of this thing in that afternoon, and then Tuesday morning we'll start the full length as we head on up out of here. So we get this monstrosity back home, get this thing settled in, get past the holidays. It's time to start building a race car. We got to do a quick deal. Eric's got that F-250 with a big block in it that we need to tear apart and do some kind of general maintenance to. I think it's got a bad lifter or two, so we'll tear that thing apart. Of course, we'll show you guys all the stuff we do with it, and then yeah, it's time to build race cars. So really appreciate you guys' support. If you've subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't, grab you a hot cup of coffee, snuggle up under a blanket, and check out some of our earlier videos, which aren't that great, but you can critique us on how terrible they really were. And then subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch you soon.